Welcome to Let Us Farm. I hope, yeah, welcome to Let Us Farm. So, if you are on live and you are not hearing me, please let me know so that I can adjust the microphone of what I'm using so that everybody could actually hear me. Um, sorry, let me adjust this light. Okay. Uh-huh. So, welcome to Let Us Farm today. So, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be discussing in earnest on how to succeed in catfish farming, like the notice I put out before. So, I actually said it that today we should be having the normal, like I promised. We'll have every first Saturday of beginning of a month. If possible, we can do a second one every month. But if not possible, the first one, could work out for every one of us. So now I received some questions from people. So we're going to be talking about those questions generally and again. If you have any question as we go on, for those who have never participated in this live program, what we do on this live program is, as we're discussing, if you have any question that you want me to help you answer while this live is going on, please drop it on the chat board and I will pick it up. Yeah, good evening, madam. So just drop it on the chat board and I will pick it up and make sure I try to reply you. In case I do not reply you, just please still drop it back. I will reply you. That's how we do it. So let's not waste much time and go into this. So starting from the question that Madam Taiwo asked me to discuss. So Madam Taiwo said we should discuss um, what we are going to like as catfish farmers. If you are used to selling melange mainly, you may have seen this problem that she's talking about, the problem of most of the northern buyers that we have, the way they manipulate scale and they buy the catfish in a bad way that the farmer doesn't succeed. So Madam Taiwo said I should talk about it. Well, I actually did a video of how to market your catfish, where I actually discussed about this issue of our northern guys that come to buy fish, and I went ahead to talk about not only the northerners that do that, even people from the southwest they do it. Everywhere people try to do it, this is one of the things I always say. You as a catfish farmer, you are like an endangered species when it comes to selling your product, because the idea of a buyer is on how to rip you off as a seller. When you ask them, they say, oh, you make all the gain, but it's a lie. People that actually make the most profits if they rip you off are the buyers. Good evening, famous. Why I say this is that what buyers do is they try every possible means to make sure that they price you rubbish. So from what she's saying, I totally understand what she's saying, though I have talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it now. So now, if you struggle as a catfish farmer and start your catfish, so when it comes to sell, this is your best time to make money, and this is also your worst time to lose money. I will explain. So when these people come to buy fish from you, first thing you must avoid, like I said, I have a video on it. First thing you must avoid is avoid your customers giving you their scale for you to use and sell your fish. This is the first thing you must avoid. Reason is that most scales your customers will give you are manipulated scale. So what they do is the spring inside that scale, they manipulate it. So instead of a scale, let's say instead of fish that is supposed to be weighing 2 kg, for you to be reading it out as 2 kg, it will drop to like 1 kg or 1.5 kg. People do it. Now, there are many things that happen at the grounds of sales. Noah, welcome. I salute. Iron water. Okay, yeah, I will talk about that later. Ahmed, I greet you. So people do this. It's not that they don't do it. It's something that's number one. So people manipulate scale. Now, the one that is even worse than manipulation of scale is if you're in the southwest, there are some things that some women come to do because we are talking about northern and I just want to give you a preview of even what happens in the southwest. So there are these women that when they want to buy your fish, if they are selling, they will tell you they want to go and use the bathroom or anything like that. Immediately they go, come back, things spoil. Once they go, come back, what they will do is to go around your scale and everything is spoiled. There are so many things that happen. So, like I said in that video, one of the things you have to do as a farmer is you restrict people that come to buy fish from moving up and down inside your farm. Okay, madam, you people should stay here. Oga, stand here. Don't go to this side. Divide. So what you do is don't avoid people to go around your farm and all those things. Don't let them stay one side. So everybody will be seeing what's going on there. Even if you want to go peace, no problem. But don't allow them to be cross moving because that cross movement is when they do a lot of things. That's number one. Number two, don't for any reason your customers come, they bring their scale, say, oh, use my scale. Your scale it does not read well. Don't do that. Instead, look for another catfish farmer and rent a scale. People rent scale. If your catfish farmer is not renting scale, go to people that sell building material. Ask them which of them rents scale. This is how I started. I was renting scale. Go to building material and you get scale for rent. Rent it from them and use the whole day. But avoid these things. Now, the problem with northerners that come to buy catfish and they do magic is that most of the magic they do is from melange. That's why I don't sell melange. Honestly, I don't. And one of the reasons I don't sell melange is that melange to me is a waste of time. You want to sell fish, somebody is packing 10 fishes as 1 kg because those ones they don't grow well. So I used to feel bad selling melange. Instead, when I sell my big fishes, the ones that are small remaining there, I sell them as melange. Big size melange, 900 gram. You know. So the reason is that if you want to sell melange, that's why you see when I say things, people don't understand it. Some people think that, oh, I don't want to encourage them, but that's not true. It's because of this on the field experience. So I'm telling you this because it's going to happen. And when it happens, you are going to lose money. And when you lose money, you will like it. So, for example, I told somebody, I have said it on my videos that, yeah, good evening, I salute. I don't sell melange. Why? Melange is a rip-off. You can do melange, and at the end of the day, you spend 1 million, you make 20,000. To me, it's waste of time. 50,000, complete waste of time. So I was explaining to the person that one, you should understand what you call time value of money. The best practices of melange for me, 2.5 months, maximum 3 months, I clear off the pond. That's melange. Don't sell below 500 gram. Target 700, 800 gram. When I was explaining to the guy, I said, no, that my customers prefer 250 gram. I said, this is the problem. 250 at that age of a catfish, the feed conversion rate is still very low. It is still very, very low. So what it simply means is that the weight gain of a catfish at that age is low. Because it's low, you are not going to make money from that sales. But the problem is that even if I say this and say this and say this, some people will still don't understand because what they see is cash flow. There's difference between cash flow and making profits in catfish farming. Cash flow in catfish farming is when you invest 1 million and you are selling and you come and see 1 million 20,000, 1 million 50,000. This is just cash flow. But when you invest 1 million, you now come and see 1.3 million, 1.2 million, 1.4, 1.5, 2M. This is when you start talking about profit. The thing is this, there's no way everybody that do catfish farming is going to make it. There's no business everybody do and you make it. Yeah, good evening, Chris. That's the reason why you see people that go to school to read, to come and work for you, and then give you the knowledge they have so that you can boost more on profit. Um, I by God's grace, I do these things because I read accounting in school, so I understand everything about money. So when I now bring it into farming, I try to balance it. But unfortunately, when you try to educate somebody that doesn't even know his right from his left, they keep arguing. That's why you see successful people will hardly come to start explaining to you on how they succeeded because you will never understand. And you know, our Nigeria now, even something that is none of your business, people will now buy it and start talking anyhow. So somebody now looks at it that why should I waste my time on you when you are not, valuing a free thing? That's just the secret. So many catfish farmers, what they do is cash flow. They don't actually make profit, but they think they make profit because they have this cash flow. That is the exchange of money when they do business. So that's why I don't do melange. So at that early stage of a catfish, juvenile, that time post juvenile, 1 month, 2 months, their feed conversion rate is very low. It's not as fast as when they now get to 2.5 months to 4 months, your fishes grow faster. If you look at your fish now and put this thing I'm talking into perspective, try to weigh it, you will discover that what I'm saying may be true. So when your fishes get to 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, 4 months, watch the growth. That's when they grow so fast. 4 months, 5 months, they start to slow down. That time they will just start getting more weight. So that time they've already stretched out. It's just like human being. When you born a baby, the first few months, the baby doesn't grow like that. But when the child is getting to like 7 years, you see the child start picking. It peaks till around 1921, it starts slowing down. It's the same thing. The only thing that is different is the variation of time it happens. So this is the reason why doing melange, I don't like it because by 2.5 months to 3 months, that time is when it's peaking, and that's when people want to buy it as melange. So that's why I say for you to now make money on melange, use that period of 2 months to 3 months to give more weight to the fish. So the fish will now start weighing around 700, 800, 900. Now, your customers that are saying, oh, that what they want is 200 gram, 250 gram, leave those customers. Leave them. They are not your customers. If you, as a catfisherman, if you want to sell 200 gram, process it yourself. If you cannot process it yourself and you sell fish at 250 gram, you will not make profit. It's not like maybe what I'm saying is I'm costing anybody. No, 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 but it's a fact. If you like, try it. You say, what of raising fish in 3 months and then sell those ones that are smaller? You don't understand. Like I said, if you raise your catfishes to 3 months and you now sort them and you want to sell as melange, listen very well so that we don't make mistake. If you are selling anything as melange, don't sell below 500 gram. If your catfish at 3 months is not 5 up to 500 gram, there are some certain reasons why it's happening. One, the space in that pond is not okay. Two, you may be using wrong feed. Imagine at 3 months you are giving your fish 6 mm. Definitely, the small ones cannot eat the size of 6 mm. Even if they eat it, inside the 6 mm feed component, it doesn't have enough protein to stimulate growth. What 6 does to your fish is to balance them and roughages. So that's why I said at 3 months, what you need most for your fish is your 3 Now, to your question, at 3 months, like I said, it may be your space, it may be your feed, wrong feed, and then your feeding style. If it were me, at 2 months, sort your fish. Those ones that are very small, place them on 2 after that sorting. Still continue 2 When they now get to that 3 months, if you sort them again and you see those ones that are not ready to come out, you can sell them, dispose them. You are not going to make profit from them, even if you carry them and go ahead. You can't make profit from them. As far as you have sorted them and reduce their and still give them the normal feed for them to pick, and they refuse to pick at 3 months. For me, that's what I do. That's what I'm telling you here is what I do. But let us not misunderstand, though. It's not a must you will do it, though. Is if you like it and if you feel it will work out, you can do it. So what I do is when you sort at 2 months, those small ones, still put them on their 2 Now, there are some that may be very big like that. Don't too rush their feed. Let them be on 3 Up to 3 months, let them still be there. Other ones, the same 2 By 3 months, all of them are eating the 3 So then at 3 months, you sort again, you will see these ones. They will not even be up to 400 grams. Remove all those ones. You don't need to carry them and be going to 1 kg. This thing I'm saying is when you have availability of ponds to keep sorting it to see what's going on. If you don't have, just use your good feeding and go. But I'm trying to answer that question that you asked. So when you sort them, those ones, they can't be counted as profit or loss because as a dead, nothing has been lost if everything is working well. So 3 months, those ones that are not even up to 300 grams, sell them. Then the big ones, carry them. Those big ones, we pay you for all those ones that are not doing well. That's how it works. So, so that's how you can do that, and you are sure you have secured those fishes in the bag at 1 kg and above. When you sell it, you will smile because what happens then is that you see those ones that will still be eating, but they are not ready to grow. You have removed them, so automatically your feeding will go down. So it's the ones that are ready to pick; those ones your feeding will work for them. So, Noah, you asked, can iron water cause mortality in fish? First of all, how do you know it's an iron water? Okay, let's assume that you looked at the color and you just assume that it's iron water. Yes. Even in human being, if you take too much of iron, it gives you what they call goiter. That's your swollen throat. That's iron problem. So even in catfish, when the iron is too much in the water, it's going to affect the oxygen level of that water, meaning that some of the fishes may suffocate and die. So you don't need to have mass iron concentration in the pond you are using. What your fish require is clean water. So anything that makes your water not to be clean has every probability of killing your fishes. Joy, good evening. Watching from Anambra. Thank you very much. I appreciate. How can we differentiate fingerlings and juveniles? It seems like many suppliers are providing fingerlings instead of juvenile. My boss wants us to feed our fish. My boss wants us to feed our 3 months old fish. I did not say you should feed your. If you feed your catfish of 3 months 6 if that's what he's telling you to do, before you start the feeding, this is well, when I say things, I like to tell you what to do in case if you're in trouble. Watching from Ghana. Yeah, Jerry, welcome. So if your boss is saying you should feed your catfishes of 3 months 6 just tell him that The 6 feed is not very good. But if it just, say, Oga, 6 at 3 months is not the best. It's going to affect some of these fishes. They are not going to peak, and the small ones will not grow. When you explain the thing, no, 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 go and feed. You say, okay, sir. Make sure you feed it. And when the bad result come out, just remind him that you said. Because why I say this is that if you don't tell him when he says go and feed it 6 mm, if you do not tell him the implication and anything happen, they will blame you. They will say you are not feeding the fishes. That there's some organs will even say you sold the feed. That's what they will tell you, that it's like you are selling our feed. You are not. We give you feed. You are not feeding your fishes. So it's always good, you just use style, drop that statement so that in case, because my people always say this thing. It's always good so that in case if anything goes wrong in future, everybody will remember that when they told you, you said, uh that means anyone below 500 gram at 3 months is better. If you have 400 gram, you can leave it. But if you have 200, 300, please sell it at 3 months. It's not going to grow anything. Mhm. I still have some fishes, which is 3 and some 4 and the feed some 6 mm. 6 feed, leave it for your 5 months old fishes. Do not feed your 3 months old catfish 6 mm. It's not going to work. Yes, it's not going to work. Wait, when they get to 5 months, give them 6 mm, they will eat it. But if you just rush and feed it because you want to feed, the problem is that they are not going to grow well. That's just it. So let us move ahead. If you don't understand, if you have more questions, so kindly drop it so that I would be able to be picking it up. This one says, what's the probability of having more than 1K within 5 months, and how can it be sold? I don't get this question. Are you asking me probability of having more than 1 kg within 5 months? That question, the answer lies with you. At 3.5 months, your catfishes will start weighing 1 kg. Not all, but they will start weighing 1 kg at 3.5 months if you have very good spacing and very good feeding for your fishes. If you don't feed them very well, maybe you resorted to prayers instead of food. They are not going to grow because they don't eat prayers. They eat food for growth. Very good food, though. It's not you just go and grind a granite and this thing. It will not work. Oh. Let me just say it so that nobody will say tomorrow that I said. Please, you break the feeding from 1.5 to 9 mm. Kindly check out the videos on this page you are watching me from about feed sizes. It's there. It's there. I have everything there. Your 9 mm you are talking about, for you see, as a catfish farmer who is beginning, for 9 mm, I would advise you not to think of feeding your catfishes 9 mm. The reason is simple. Before you get to 9 mm, like I said this thing in a video, if you are a new catfish farmer and you want to stock your fishes, first thing you do is find out if people that will buy in your area actually buy hybrid or clarias. Now, if you have buyers for hybrid and clarias and you are new into catfish farming, do not start with hybrid. Start with clarias. I said this many, many times. It's only when you don't have option of clarias to start with hybrid. Simple. The reason is clarias, as a business person, the price you are buying them when they are juvenile, you see that hybrid is almost double of what you buy in clarias. What's the point wasting the money? What clarias will give you and what hybrid will give you are 4 months is the same thing. It's just your feeding and the management that is different. But like I used to say, when clarias starts getting old after 7 months, they start developing eggs. Buyers don't buy fish with egg. It's a bad market for them. The egg keeps a hole inside the fish. So when restaurant people cut it, the fish will just scatter and customers will not buy it from them. So they are not going to buy it from you. And the egg will give them additional weight Come on, fish that is supposed to be 1 kg because it's carrying egg is now 1.5 kg. It's not good business to them. So they're not going to buy it. Now, if you want to enjoy your hybrid, you should be sure that you have money to keep that hybrid to around 8, 9 months. That's when you start talking of 9 mm. So if you're a new catfish farmer, you don't have business with 9 mm. So as a new catfish farmer, because of the pressure on fish, fish will keep eating, eating, eating until the day you want to sell. So as a new catfish farmer, kindly plan on clearance so that you know that maximum 4 months, 4.5 months, you sell and make your money. Start another one. But if you choose hybrid and you are stuck in the middle, you are not feeding well again. Somebody that told me one day that after feeding for 2 months, no money. He left the fish. He now came back to start feeding at 4 months. You see, this thing now is bad planning. Because what you could have done is to reduce the number you stock and be able to carry the one that you have to at least 4 months. Then when you sell, any profit you make, you reinvest in the business. That's how to grow. But if you decide to do the one that is in your mind, fine and good. But for those people that plan it well, this is just my advice to you. If you're a new catfish farmer, that's my advice. Start with clearance if they buy both in your place. So when you start with clearance, by 4 months, 4.5 months, you sell it, make your money and reinvest. Please, when do I stop 2 mm for my fishes? You stop it on the last day of their second month. The first day of their third month, you switch to 3 mm. That's when you stop it. So the first day of their third month from juvenile, you switch to 3 mm. Can I feed my 5 months fishes with smallest fish, e.g., I don't get this one. Does it make sense to feed them with different types of feed, like blue crown in the morning? For me, what is the point? In the morning, you feed blue crown. In the afternoon, you feed eco float. Tomorrow, you switch to top. I mean, what are you trying to do? This business, how we do this business is we focus. That's you want to know what's giving you profit. You want to know what's working out best for you. That's why these things are very funny. So because you want to know what is working out for you, use a particular feed so that you know that this feed is what is working for me. Can I feed my 5 months fishes with smallest fish, e.g., thousands in a soup? I don't understand this. So if you can feed your 5 months fish with smallest fish, example, thousands in a soup, please let this thing break it down. I don't understand that. If you're asking me if you should take some of your fish and feed another fish, well, they will eat it. But then it's your profit that is going. So I don't get that. Was the average price of 1 kg and above 1 kg? I don't get this. Oh, are you asking me of the average price of 1 kg fish? Because I don't get, but let me assume that that's what you're asking me. The price of average of, like I always say, if you ask around your place, you will know. For my place, now, price stylishly now has 1 kg has gone to 3,000. Below 1 kg, 2,300, 2,400. Some people still sell 2,900 for 1 kg. That's what it is as at this moment. Some places may be selling 1 kg and above for 3,500. I don't know. I'm not there. So please try and find out in your place. Average price, nothing like average price in Nigeria. It's an open business. So that's just it. What is the brand of feed I'm using? Many times, you see, the problem why I don't like calling brands is like I'm marketing for some people. So I give you some of these brands. Any of them is good. Top Feed is good. Blue Crown is good. Eco Feed is good. Vital, if you see good ones, is good. Then, if you want to talk of the foreign one, I use Cretin Superior, not Essential. Then, Propens is good. Ala Aqua is good. We have other feeds too, but these ones are the ones you can play around, you get them around, and They are tested, trusted with very good results. My boss, this one, he said, "Good evening. Good evening. 4 months are still on 4 mm. Very, very okay. When your 4 months are still on 4 mm, it's very okay. The reason why you don't need to rush it is that these feeds are actually planned with the growth of your catfishes. So when you are rushing, some of the feed value of the feed they are giving to your fishes drop. Like I said, at 6 mm, go and check the protein content. It drops. So your fish cannot be stimulated to grow well. That's why I told you guys that from 2.5 months to 4 months, your fish have like a very super growth that time. So if you now, instead of giving them that thing that will, push the growth to be going, and you are giving them something that is supposed to slow the growth and make them to get more energy, see that you are now missing it. That's why some fishes you just they short like this, can't get big weight, and your buyers will be looking at you that this your fish don't grow well, but they have weight. Many buyers will not even want to buy it. That's the truth. You see short fish like this, if you carry this thing up, you get bastard weight. So your buyers are not interested. You'll be wondering what happened because you use wrong feed. Can I make profit if I stock 2,000 juveniles and sell them at 3 weeks? Hmm. Let me tell you one thing. You're talking of selling melange. If you're talking of selling melange, sell them at 3 months. The 2 weeks extra is, it's just, I don't know. Because you want 1 kg and above, instead of selling at, because from 3.5 months you start making 1 kg, but all your fishes cannot be 1 kg. So kukuma drag it to at least 4 months and a week, then you clear everything. But remember, if you are stocking 2,000 fishes, one thing that will matter in that fish is pond. If you don't have good pond space, forget it, or you will not make anything out of it. Instead, you stock 500 and have very good space. When you do it and you make good money from it, that money will now make you go for 1,000. But if you decide that, okay, you have all these spaces, why not come down and do 1,000? One, as a new beginner in catfish, one problem, the first problem catfish farmers have is during sales. Mr. Sonny, that's a fish called thousand in a soup and sizes of tilapia. Oh, sorry, I don't know about the fish called thousand in a soup. I don't know about that fish, please. It's confusing. My number is in that place 081-353-48909. Please remember it's WhatsApp only. And now we're on live, so don't go and start calling me now. I will pick 081-353-48909. So, like I was saying, as a new catfish farmer, one of your greatest challenge is sales. You may not believe it now, no, but if it happen, you may be discouraged. The reason why you're having problem about sales is that before you start, you will never plan for your sales. What is in your mind is money, is pond, is starting the fish farming. That's why one of the new catfish farmers I wanted to start just told me, hey, I want to start 10,000. How many bags of feed? I started laughing. He said, why am I laughing? I said, the problem is that it's just called figures. Okay, let's assume you have 100 million and you want to start because you have 100 million. That's not the problem. The problem is, how do you want to start 10,000 catfishes? Where do you want to sell it? How do you want to sell it? Yes, we have markets. But if you stock 10,000 at a time, please, can you lay more emphasis on pond size and average number of fish it can be in a pond? I have a video on pond sizes and the number of fishes on my YouTube. Let Us Farm, LETUSFARM. If you go there, just type number of catfish, a number of ponds. How many fishes you can stock in a pond, it will come out. It's there. Because I cannot tell you all, but anyone you want, if you ask me, I'll be able to, let you know. Please, can you call out those local feed names again? Okay, the feed names are Blue Crown, Eco Float, Top Feed, Vital. Did I miss anyone? They are the major ones. Blue Crown, Eco Float, Top Feed, Vital, they are very, very popular. So if you stock 10,000, not that there's no market, but you see, when you carry 10,000 fishes, you want to sell it once. The first thing that is going to happen to you, let's say you get people that all these sellers that want to help you to like push out your fishes and they come. The first problem you are going to have is that immediately they see your pond, they know you are a first timer and you have 10,000. They will talk within themselves. This one don't enter. This is what they will say. And it's not a joke. Oh. You can go and verify from anywhere. This is they will just gather within themselves, turn their back, and say, this one don't enter them. This is a Nigeria thing. I don't know about other countries, though, but this is a Nigeria thing. Now, what that simply means is that, oh, this one, you want to come and start selling because you think that there is money in the business. So immediately, they will just plan it. They will first start to discourage you when you bring out your fish. They say, no, which size is this? They don't even buy this size, blah, blah, blah. They will just start giving you negative vibes, all in the bid to discourage you. That will give opportunity to middlemen to come in and say, don't worry, I will handle them for you. All this one no tiller people though, because what they will do is that in the process of handling them for you, whatever they sell, if they make sales, let's say they sell 1 ton, which is 1,000 kg, they will tell you it's 800 they sold. And they will tell you that, hey, this one, don't worry, she's owing you 200,000. I will collect it from her. This one is owing you 150,000. I'll collect it. This is how they will scatter the money because you have put yourself in a bad situation. But as a new catfish farmer, start with things you can handle. 500, 1,000. These things are things you can, handle. And don't start with 1 pond if you want to handle big. But if you are feeling small, like 100 fishes, 200 fishes, hey, do it in 1 pond. But the moment you start going to 1,000, 500, please don't start it with 1 pond. The idea is that when you want to sell, you first carry your customers to 1 pond. Whatever happens in that pond will guide you on the next ponds. These things I'm telling you, it is, these are things that definitely ends people's career in catfish farming. Not because they don't have money or not because they did not do well, but it ended their career because on sales, they messed up. That means everything you did would be square zero. How many fishes should I stock? Hmm. This one they ask me like this, they tire me because I have all these things online. So bringing all these things here now, but let's see what we can do. Uh, so let's be going on first. I will answer your question now. So whenever I change the water, they get stressed. What's the cause? The cause why your fishes get stressed when you change water, there could be many reasons. But one is the time of changing water. If you are changing your fish water in the afternoon, your fishes are going to get stressed. Now, if before you change water, people come around that pond, your fishes are going to get stressed because already you have tensed them up, like anticipation of what's going to happen. So your fishes are already tensed up, trying to figure out what you want to do. So in that situation, they're going to be tensed up. So, like I said, there are many reasons why your catfish will be tensed up. But the question is, when do you change water? Now, don't carry people come around your pond before you change water. These are bad signals for catfishes. Then again, how many fishes do you have in the pond? If your pond is overstocked, when you are changing water, there's high possibility of one, they're going to injure themselves, they're going to be stressed because all of them are fighting for space in that pond. These things are actually affect what's going on in your catfish. Now, if it has already happened, the first situation remedy to this situation is do not empty the pond when changing water. So when you like remove 70% of the water in the tank, allow clean water to be running in. Then you allow it to run in like 15, 20 minutes. So this one is entering, the other one is going out. If it runs 15, 20 minutes, then you lock your discharge and allow clean ones to be entering. That way, you now balance that situation of you did not finish the water in the pond, and it helps you to keep your fishes safe. Hmm. Said at 2 months and a week, I want to switch to 4 mm. What do you think? I think it's bad. That's what I have just said all this while. At 2 months and a week, please stay on 2 mm. Why are you rushing? I understand price of 2 mm is higher, but the question is that before you started your catfish, you actually made inquiries and found out that fish consumes a lot of money. So please, at 2 months and 1 week, for your best result, stay on 2 mm. If the tension is too much for you, wait. When they get to at least 2 months and 3 weeks, sort your fishes. Smaller ones, stay on 2 mm. Bigger ones, go on 3 mm, no 4 mm if you want the best result. But if you don't want, it's all fine and good. So it's better to stock 1,000 as a beginner and will I make profit? How long should I keep them for selling for me to make profit? First of all, will I make profit? That is like a blank check. You get? It's like you giving me a check now. You did not write any amount of money, so I will now put money. Why is it a blank check? Why is a blank check is that will you make profit? If you stock 100 catfishes, you will make profit. If you stock 200, you will make profit. But what determines your profit is your management. If you stock 1,000 fishes now and bring them, put one small pond, and you pack everything, you will not make profit. You will make big loss. Then if you stock 1,000 and you are not able to feed them to satisfaction, it's big loss. You see why I say it's a blank check? And if you did not manage the process of you stocking, feeding, changing water, and all those things, a loss is coming. So you see why I say it's a blank check. But if you stock 1,000, you get the ponds right by using the right sizes for your catfishes. Then you feed them properly with good feed size, feed them to satisfaction. By 4.5 months, sell your fishes. You will make money. But remember, for me, I always say this thing, please, if you want to start, I will advise you go around wherever you plan to sell your catfishes. Meet people that used to buy catfish, they will tell you how they buy. That will be your guiding motivation. So that when you want to sell, now the same people you have to call them to come and buy from you. But if you did not meet them and then it's time to sell, and you start looking for buyers, it's not easy. One funny thing that I see is people reaching out to me, hey, we have fish to sell. We have fish to sell. We have fish to sell. I said, come, I don't sell fish for anybody. I don't do any middle thing. No, I don't do that. But then some people will talk. I say, okay. Some people actually come to me sometimes and say they want to buy fish. They saw my videos and they want to buy fish. So I will now make a post and say, oh, this person is looking for 1 kg and above. Do you have? You discover that all the people saying they have fish, they don't have. What they have, the fishes are still small. The reason is most of them, they just have big dream. Catfish is a business that will take you to this height, but you have to grow in the business. That's why I'm always saying this thing. As a beginner, plan it that you don't stay too long waiting to make money. That is, you plan that you sell at 4.5 months. If you're planning for 1 kg and above, if you're doing for melange, 3 months. As a beginner, don't go for 8 months, 9 months, because I passed through it. When I started, people I didn't understand this thing. So I was like, I want to do it, I want to do it. And at the end of the day, anyway, I so at 2 months and a week, I should still be on 2 mm. Yes. What month can I use 9 mm? You don't need 9 mm. That's what I just said at the beginning of this. You don't need 9 mm. 9 mm is when your fishes are around 8 months, 9 months. That's when your fishes need 9 mm. If you just want to rear your fishes for 4 months and 2 weeks, they are going to end in 4 maximum. When they get to 4 months and you saw them and you have the ones that are so big, like 1.2 kg at 4 months, you put them on 6 It's not a must that your fish will eat all feed sizes. Okay, if you're asking of 9 what of 12 That's it. So it's not a must that your feed will eat all fish sizes. This is something I always try to let us understand. You see, all the feed sizes is not a must that your fish will eat all of them. No, these sizes were actually prepared for the age, the weight, and the growth of the fish at a particular time. So you don't need the size that the fish is supposed to eat at 9 months, you now give it at 4 months. That's bad. So you don't need it. Please. For best result, you don't need it. So your 15 by 20 feet pond, stock 320 fishes in it for 1 kg and above. And your 15 by 15, stock 270 pieces for 1 kg and above. And make sure your water level is 3 feet high for best results. So about the video you dropped yesterday, I experienced the same problem. I lost a lot of fishes of my my first month. Okay, is it? That video. Mm. That video, anyway, is you will still see the continuation of that video. I actually did another one that you will see after this. But that video, like I said, the video is it's about cannibalism, which what actually triggers this is overstocking. But for some reasons, some of us don't like to hear it. I don't know why, but they don't believe in it. So it's okay. As a new catfish farmer, how can we differentiate between fingerlings and juvenile? This was the question I was trying to. I just skip them. Sorry, Joe. Yeah, fingerlings and juvenile. I have said this thing before. At 15 gram, can I use 3 No, 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 no. At 15 gram, your fishes are still on 2 now. What are you doing with 3 You don't need 3 mm. 15 gram, girl. 15 grams, your fishes are not, they are still very, very small. Oh. Max is 2 It's even 1.8, 2 So, the sizes of fish, you see people, they will say, oh, 10 cm, 15 cm. I don't actually do that. Sorry, but I don't do that. If I see the fish, I will know, but I don't do that. Let me tell you the reason. Reason is that there are many things that determine the size of your fish when you are buying it. Like I said, this thing, and um, sometimes we, the catfish farmers, actually cause most of the problems we have. This is just the truth. So that's why when people blame, 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 I just laugh. You don't need to be blaming everybody except yourself. It doesn't make sense. Now, if you want to buy catfish and you call somebody that is selling and say, please, I want to buy juvenile. Do you have juvenile? He says yes. Say, do you have fingerling? He says yes. He says, okay, I want to buy. Schedule a date. Go to the person's farm. You will bring it out. You will see the two sizes. By this time, you have not made any price. You just said you want to buy, and you people just. So when they bring the two out, you will see, then start your pricing. Why I said this is from an honest mind. I have seen as of today, some people sell juvenile catfish 65 naira. As at now. Some sell 70 naira. As at now. And the same juvenile, some people sell it 50 naira as at this moment. So now, if I tell you that your juvenile is 15 centimeters, example, and you go to buy, and somebody says, oh, juvenile, he has 65 naira. And somebody say, why do you want to go and waste 65 naira? Is it because of what that guy said? Don't mind him, he's talking rubbish. I have somebody that will give you for 15 naira. You now get to that place, juvenile, we have 15 naira. Then you now start reasoning, what did that guy say? 65, 50. At this point now, your mind will no longer be on the size. If you now talk of the size, they'll say, no, 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 this is Ijebu catfish. Before you know it's going to grow out. Don't mind those ones, they are already spoiled. That's why they will give you a lot of story. You are not confused. But because of the price disparity, you are not happy. You now go home. Then tomorrow you'll be telling people that this is what I bought, and you are sure. That's what I said is wrong. So what I try to do is buying of your catfish is trust, because this is the seed you want to sow. So you have to buy from a trusted source. If it is a trusted source and you go there and say, I want to buy, they will show you the truth that this is what I sell as my standard juvenile. You will see the size. Some people will tell you it's 15 centimeter. If you go there, it's 20 centimeter. They will show you. But it is their price that will be different. Somebody else will, and somebody, you may be pricing on phone. Somebody says 65. You are pricing on phone. So when you are pricing, the person may not agree at 55. What I'm telling you now, nobody will tell you this, but this is what's happening. You will agree, okay, you know what? Bring 55, I will sell for you. Make your payment first. You make payment. When you get there on the day they are going to sell, what he's going to do is simple. He will sort out the shooters, which are the outgrown one. Keep it for somebody that is going to pay 65. Then give you the next level because you are paying 55. I mean, you have deposited money. Highest, you come there and make noise. At the end of the day, you say, this person cheated me. But you bought it, you bought it. You see, listen, I'm telling you, like I said, remember, I don't sell. So don't think that I'm saying it because I'm supporting anyone. I'm not supporting anybody. But that's just the honest truth of what happens. So for me now, if I call and say I want to buy, I already know what they are going to bring for me. I don't measure my fishes because it's a mutual trust you build over time. So you know that, okay, if the guy says, hey, my fish will not be ready now, it will be ready next week, I will not push. But you see, catfish farmers, they want to buy. The seller is telling you that the fish is not ready now. Let's wait till next week. You are pushing the seller. No, I want to stock tomorrow. You know how Nigeria is now, and everybody needs money. It's going to help you. Then you stop tomorrow. So that's it. I have 3 months and a week, and they are on 4 although they have been sorted shorter and melange. Hope I'm doing the right thing. How do you people like me to reverse this that I said? At 3 months and a week, they are supposed to be on 3 for best result. That's just it. Like I said, for best result. So it's a choice. So that's just the truth about it. It's not like maybe I'm supporting anybody. That this thing I said now is exactly what happens. And that's why some of us, we run into situation because like I said, there is tension, everybody needs money. So when you start that, somebody came here one day was saying that those people are very wicked, that why wouldn't they tell us what they have? But I like to be very sincere and realistic with anything I do. The truth is, you said you want to buy and they gave you a price. Maybe somebody says, I want to buy, and I say 70 naira. You say, okay. I say, come, the last I can give you is 65. You see, me, I have told you what I can sell last. But you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Probably this seller, maybe he wants to go and do something and he needs urgent money and he want to buy much. The person will just calculate, and say, fine, I'm going to give this person good fish. I'm going to give him what is not too small, but not too big. He will sort out the fish and give you. How you manage it, it's your own choice. That's the reason why I say it's not like I don't have anything. So you can't really say they are bad, but because now we cause them. Sorry to bother you, but the shooters are between 500 gram and 800 gram. I don't get what you're saying. Which shooters are you talking about? A fish of 500 gram and 800 gram. So what are you talking about? They are in 2 now. If you put fish of 500 gram and 800 gram at 4 like I said, it's a question of choice. The melange average weight of 220 gram is a loss. That's the truth. If you sell melange 220 gram, I'm not saying this because I'm buying from you. I'm not buying from you, or I have any interest in it. But I'm telling you from a business point of view. Anything I say here is from a catfish farmer business point of view. How you will make money from selling your catfish. But after listening to what I say, whatever you implement, you are implementing it as a catfish farmer who believes in what will work for him or her, so that tomorrow, don't misquote me. So from my business point of view, if you sell 220-gram melon, flat loss, any of your melons that is coming below 500 gram, you won't make money. If you make 10,000, 20,000 on top of 1 million, it's a loss at 3 months. That's what I have said. So, however, we want to look at it, I'm not saying you should not do it, but I'm just telling you it's business. So, however we grow in business is how we planted the business, so that you can know if you are going forward or you are going backwards. But that's just what I said. So I gave you now like a guide. So whatever you do with this guide after now, really not what I can start looking into. But it's just you. This means anyone below 500 gram. You've asked me now, and I said when it's below 500 gram at 3 months, if it's like 400 gram at 3 months, it's still okay. But if it's below that, please just sell it off. That's what I said. You know, because at 3 months, if you have catfish that is 200, 300 gram at 3 months, there is no future for those catfishes. So what it simply means is that even at 4 months, 5 months, they may end up around 500 or 600 gram. Complete waste of time. So, but again, it depends on individual. What I have said now is just my own. So that's just it. Um, so this is I'm looking at is the questions that some of us have dropped before. Like I said, as we are going on, please, if you have more questions, be dropping it so that I pick out from here and also match with what I have here to answer. So somebody here said, how to prepare local feed. Okay, I have actually talked about how to. Thank you for the roses. I've talked about how to prepare local feed before. Yes, I've talked about it. But what I always say in this, remember what I'm saying is, hmm. So what I always say in this is that local feed preparation is about individual plan for local feed. First of all, understand this fact. There's no way you want to prepare your local feed grinding and get exact size of 2 mm. You know this is not possible. So it simply means that a fish that's supposed to eat 2 mm, if you do your local feed and giving it to that fish, majority will not eat the feed. Just understand this. Number two, what is your idea of local feed? We have two variations of ideas here. When I started catfish farming, it got to a time we started doing what is community kind of thing. So all of us we put resources together to get our feed, not our fish. No, our feed. So we used to order things from the north. Then we grind it, we share it, the bags, and grind it together to get our feed. The idea at that time was for some of us when we started, when we were doing that, we were looking at it that imagine I'm using 400 bags of feed as at that time. So if I can in each bag save 1,400, that's 400,000, was a very big money then. That was the idea. So we're doing it. Now, we were trying to use exactly what the company do so that we will get better results. What I'm telling you, I actually went for a training for making feed with Durante feeds. That time, Durante, if you know Durante, you can go online and Google about Durante feeds. So Durante that time, they used to bring some feed premix. Premix is additive that we add in catfish feed to make it good. So they were bringing it from US that time. So we used to buy it, used to make. So I actually was sent to a training. Even there, I went for Ibadan training, I went for Lagos training to learn how to make. So we did all these things. Now, when we came back, I started doing all these things. What we found out was when we buy all our material and plus this other additive and the premix and everything, when we mix this feed together, instead of cost to come down, it used to go up. So we now started like, what is going on? Is it something that we are missing? Is it that what the Durante is selling to us is more expensive? So we started asking questions. Now, when we were now asking questions, that time, what they were selling 1 kg of maize that time was 190 naira then. 190, yeah. Because we're buying one bag. One bag was 19,000. So it was 190 then. So when we were asking questions, we discovered that that thing they were giving us at 190 per kg from the north then. Companies were buying it 120. And the funniest aspect with 120 is that they don't pay once. No. What companies do is they go to the north, they have agents on ground in the north. So you hear about some farmers in the north that have very large farm. Some of them don't actually borrow money from the bank, if you must know. So what they do is that they go to this company, like companies that make this feed, and the company gives them advance for those things during the planting season, the beginning. So if they come now, company will just say, no, we are not buying at this. Last year you sold this is the amount. We made loss, blah, blah, blah. The farmer at that time needs money. And this money has no interest. But banks own have interest. Now, the farmers will not go and agree. That time they were giving us 190, they were giving these companies 120. Some said they even buy 100. Some 120, some 100. So this is what the companies will pay them advance. That after the season, come and collect the balance. You see what happened? The company has made more money by paying advance. Now, when these people farm finish, company will still send their truck drivers to go and pick it up. So cost of transportation is low. Cost of product is low. But we that time, we just gather ourselves, we put money together. When we now call these our northern brothers to send this thing, because they have undersold to the company, they will now overcharge us to bridge the gap between what they've sold to the company and us. So indirectly, we are the one paying for what the company bought for them. So when this thing now comes to us, when we now add everything together, it increases our cost of production. Some people will tell you, what of those companies? Are they not paying laborers? Blah, blah, blah. Are we ourselves, are we not paying labor? That's a problem. We're paying labor. And company is paying labor. And we ourselves, as at that time, we do 2 ton, 3 ton, 4 ton. Company is doing metric tons. So company is doing high quantity, which covers all the cost of production, brings down their cost. So instead of we to be gaining the 1K on per bag, we are now overshooting on a bag that time with about 400 or so. So most of us have to stop. I started thinking of what else to do. So we now brought the idea of going back to the same company. Now buying as a distributor. It now drops your price again with 100, 150, 200. That's what you now make as distributor price. You see? So some of us then, some people then did not go to buying finished goods. They still remained. But what they now did was what we now discovered that that's what majority of the people do. So if you are to use 50 kg maize in a production of 100 kg feed, this is an example. What they will do, because maize is one of the most expensive components of your feed, instead of using 50 kg, they will drop it to 25 kg. Now, the remaining other 25 kg, they will put wheat offal, which is chaff. They'll tell you, they just wait, it's just energy that with the wheat offal, the fish will still be okay. So, the wheat offal is very cheap. If maize was that time, if maize was 190, wheat offal would be around 15 naira. You see, to crash it. So they will now make profit on the bag of feed. But the question is the result going to be the same? Ordinarily, you will know the answer now. It can be the same now. What is your opinion about RAS in concrete? Now, I'm coming. So you should know the answer obviously is, there's no way you can compare the two answers. Somebody using correct something and somebody using something that is incorrect be the same thing. That's just the truth. It cannot be the same thing. And that was the situation we found ourselves. So, with that experience, that's why when people say they want to do their own personal feed, it's not like I hate it, but from a personal experience, you're not going to make anything from it. So, but if you want to use it yourself, what I will advise you is simple. Go to a feed bag, company feedback, go to the back, you will see the ingredient component. Everything there is always in percentage. Like I said, like you see where I said 50 kg maize to 100 kg bag of feed. What it simply means is that it will tell you that they use 50% of energy, which is maize. So it's there at the bag of feed. Copy those things, go to the company that you want to grind the feed from. They have all the ingredients there. You buy it from them, but use that same format and do it so that you will still get the same this thing. But remember, like I said, you can never get 2 mm size if you want to do it yourself. So what they will give you as 2 mm, if you measure it, it will be around 4 mm for your feet. Just go and check it. It's not like I'm discouraging anybody. No, no, no. Go and check it. When you grind it, you check it and see if what they give you as 2 mm is actually 2 mm or the size of 4 mm. Then you will know it's not this thing. 1,000 of catfish. How much money does it into 1 kg? Roughly, if you want to do again, whenever I say bags of feed that fish will consume, now look at how it works. My calculation and estimation on bags of feed is from the business point of view of putting you on a better profit pedestrian. What this simply means is that if you ask me 1,000 fishes, you want to raise them to 1 kg, how many bags of feed will you need? Now, there's no way all your fishes will weigh the same thing as at the point of sale. It's not possible. Reason because each of them have different digestive system and everything. So it's not the same and they are sold by weight. So my calculations are always above that 1 kg. So if you want it to be on 1 kg, that you don't want to go above. Now, when I tell you use this number of bag of feed, as they are eating, when they get to 4 months, go and weigh your fishes. If they give you the size you are looking for, you can stop. Don't use the remaining feed. Keep it for the next set. Sell it if that is what you want. But what I'm giving you, if you use it and you sell, the profit you will make will shock you if you manage it the way I said. Reason is very simple. Inside that pond, you will see some that will give you 1.4 kg, 1.3 kg, 1.2 kg because of the way you feed and everything. So you will now look at the list of your fish will be coming to 1 kg. So that's why I say 1 kg and above. So if you are doing 1,000 fishes on 1 kg and above, budget 108 bags of feed. But the price, I don't know. So simply price, feed in your area, multiply, and you get your answers. Your RAS system, I've said this thing before, clinically, your RAS system, your recycle system works better when you are doing fancy fishes. When you are doing fishes in like aquarium, show things. But when it comes to our commercial fish, where we don't have a control of our environment, how much are you going to use to adopt a RAS system on your concrete pond or your tarpaulin pond? How much are you going to use to implement using it? What most people call RAS system, it's not RAS system. There's one I watched, somebody sent me the video. The person said, here, we don't have water. We are having water challenge. So we are recycling our water with sand. So what this person does is he puts sand inside a tarpaulin pond, put water, then put fish inside. All of them is what they still call RAS system. And it doesn't change the water. So when I watched the video, I was laughing. Why I was laughing is that ignorance is a problem. And this person puts this thing online, bragging that he's teaching people about this thing. But what does he think that he's doing? Very simple. Your earthen pond, your natural earthen pond, has a natural nitrogen recycle system, which at every night recycles your water. He picks the sand, which is earth, puts inside a tarpaulin pond, put water for that system to recycle. Unfortunately, because it's inside a pond, the natural nitrogen that comes out from the ground cannot come out. So it will happen for a few periods, and the remaining period, it will not. It will, if you have heard about what they call head system, that is when a group of things start behaving same way, head mentality. That's what will now happen to those fish. So they are inside a particular water, they are not being changed, but they cannot even perform in that state. So they are just there. They are just there. And when they die, he will not know. That's the problem. So when this kind of person now will never show you his result at sales, because it's going to give you one excuse of what happens. And then if you now go ahead to try it, whatever you see is your choice. I always tell people something. Most of the times when you start thinking about things, it's good to have imagination. But one thing I will tell you is that anything you are imagining and you have not seen many people doing it close to you, it means that that thing is not feasible. So if it is things that you believe that, oh, this thing will be feasible, but people don't know about it, what you can do as a good scientist, sit down, analyze every step of it, just like you are studying the thing. After the analysis, you can put it to a trial. After that trial, don't say you have succeeded, do it again. When you do it 3 times and you succeed, that's when you now come out and say, yeah, it's like I'm doing something. But most of us, what we do is when we think about something, you imagine it that this is going to be big, this is going to remove this stress. But you ask yourself, why are people not doing it? When you come to the net, you check out, and some people are doing something similar. Look at the condition they are using to do it. Look at the adaptation system they are using to do it. And you ask yourself, is it the same thing with me? Example, people in Canada, they have winter and they have their normal summer. Now, in some lakes in Canada, during winter, the top of the lake cake. What I mean by cake is that it freezes up. So it's ice. But there are still fishes inside those lakes. But the up freezes. And people go there to drill that place and then fish. When you look at this, you wonder, oh, is this not going to be possible in your place? You have forgotten that it's weather condition that have conditioned those things to behave like that. Come and try it in Nigeria water. Cover any water like that and see whether all your fishes there no go come. Oh, you saw it. So I'm telling you, I'm happy because the thing is that when somebody sent the link to me and I saw it, I was laughing because he was even saying, "I will teach you how to do it." Blah blah. I was laughing because you could have showed people the end result and look at the ponds there. Some of them, when you look at the pond, you see that there is no life inside the pond. There's nothing inside. But he was showing people, we don't have water. We are doing it. Show everything. That's the problem. And unfortunately, most people will go and try it and then fail. But when they fail, if you call the same person and ask him and tell him that, hey, I did this and it didn't work, the next thing he's going to tell you is that he did not do it well. Now, money is already lost. Yeah, so let's move on. Another question is somebody said that I hate bitter leaf, using bitter leaf in the pond. All right. The thing is this, I don't have any hatred for bitter leaf. I eat bitter leaf soup. Oh. Very nice soup. Oh. But the thing is, I like if you're a catfish farmer and you want to grow in catfish business, I always like you to understand why you are using whatever you are using in the business. Just like somebody that was asking me just some minutes ago, using different feed. It's same thing. So you don't even know why you are using this particular feed and the outcome, the result. You will not know. So bitter leaf is good. When the idea, oh, thank you very much. So when the idea, people started pouring the idea of bitter leaf, I saw the first day that the guy created the video of bitter leaf and poured it, I watched the video. But like I said, I take my time to analyze everything. So the first time I watched the video and I started doing the analysis of what's going on and you know why the bitter leaf and everything like that. One thing was certain. I understand that most of us want to treat our fishes of whatever disease and sicknesses they have. But the question you're supposed to ask yourself is, can a particular drug cure all sickness and all diseases? If the answer to this question is no, that means that there is more to the bitter leaf than we know. Because you see, people, when a fish, I posted a video of a catfish that had issue of cannibalism. Somebody said, "Hey, I have the same problem in my pond, though." When it happened, I poured bitter leaf and all the fishes, everything stopped. I was like, "Are you serious?" Cannibalism means something using its mouth to eat flesh, skin of another one. That's cannibalism. How does bitter leaf stop you from eating? I don't get it. How does it work? See the problem I have? Now, a video of a fish that has dropsy sickness, which we know is as a result of infected bladder. Somebody said, "Hey, if you put bitter leaf in the pond, they will never have the." So now, what is the cure? What is the bitter leaf curing? What? It's just like somebody selling a drug to you and tell you that anytime you are sick, take this drug, you will be okay. Can one sickness, one drug cure everything? See, too. So why I'm saying it is I have watched people lose money because of ignorance. And as of today, many catfish farmers have failed in the business because of ignorance. Not because they're using bitter leaf, but ignorance. And in law, ignorance is not an excuse. So if you fail in what you are doing and you say, "Oh, sorry, I did not know," or "Oh, sorry, I was ignorant of this," no judge is going to pardon you. It's not an excuse. So you have to understand what exactly it is working for. Why are you using it and how are you using it? If you don't understand these things, leave it. But the God is not to cure. Maybe people are getting it wrong. You know, I'm thinking it's you that doesn't understand it. This is what people are saying. Because I post these things most of the times on Facebook, and the reactions I get, people will start telling you how to use Vitali, mix it with this, mix it. It's funny. So it's the reason why whenever I see people post bitter leaf, you see me, I ask you, the first question I was asking is, how does bitter leaf relate to this particular problem? That's what I try to understand. Then the person will start, vibing what you don't even know the beginning, neither is the end. The issue of salt, I have said it before, and I still say it anytime. Salt is a two-way sword. It can kill, it can cure. Salt, normally, if you add salt to anything, it's like an antidote. It's like a neutralizer. That's why the taste of salt is funny, bitter, but not that bitter when it's taken small. It neutralizes. That's what it does. But in catfish is not a salty fish. That's why it's not a saltwater fish, it's a freshwater fish. So if you add little, okay. If you add much, you kill everything. So that's why you see me, I don't tell people to use salt because I know human beings are funny. Somebody will go and overuse the salt and then come back to say, I said, I have a video, I think I uploaded it one certain time, of somebody that overused salt in the pond. Luckily, I never advised anybody on salt. So he couldn't quote me. He now quoted the person that supplied him the fish. That the guy told him to use 500 grams of salt inside one pond like that. The next day, all the fishes died. I told him, do you know what is 500 gram? I mean, you see, so imagine if I ever said use salt. Some of you don't know what I face because when I say things like this, some people will do opposite. Then when they come back to me, they will quote out of context, and I will look at it because I always there's nothing I say in any of my video that if you say it tomorrow to me, I will not know. So when they say it, I will tell you the video that I said it and tell you exactly what I said in that video. Then they will now say, "Oh, sorry, I misunderstood." But you're already putting me out of context. So that is it. So bitter leaf is not a cure. Oh, if your catfish has a problem, that's why I say I have an open door policy. Your catfish have a problem. Do a video and send it to me. When I look at the problem of this catfish, if you check most of the things I tell people on how to stop their catfish problem, you see that they are very, very easy. Very easy. There are things that you're supposed to do when you even started your catfish. Very, very easy. Maybe I will tell you maybe that to reduce the number you stock in the pond, change the water. Very easy things, or increase your feeding. They are always very, very easy things. But the problem is that people have a mindset. So this mindset is when I talk to this guy, I want him to tell me drugs that he will use. So when they approach me and I don't say drugs, they now want to go to bitter leaf. But I asked somebody one question in an honest way, and I expected an honest answer, and he didn't give me. I said, if you are planning to grow in catfish farming business, and you have one pond that is the size of one plot of land, and this pond, you notice that your catfishes they are dying. How many buckets of bitter leaf will you keep pouring inside this pond to save them? So imagine when you now have that type of pond in 10 places. So what you have to do, you now go to the market or go to the village and get people to start pressing bitter leaf. It's just a funny situation. I sprinkle a bit on them when the pond is dry. I leave it for a minute and open the water. It doesn't do anything to it. It just that just you are just sprinkling bitter leaf. It doesn't make anything on it. No, nothing. It's just like you say you sprinkle bitter leaf on your body. What will it do? Nothing. It's not the issue to your fish, oh, to a fish problem. Somebody told me that every time he used to use it to sprinkle on the pond. I say, what is it today? He said this. I say you can actually use your phone, type this thing now, type what is made for, what is inside bitter leaf, or go meet a medical person and tell them, go to a lab, tell them they should tell you what are the component ingredients of bitter leaf. The worst part is that the water you are using on bitter leaf, do you know that the bitter leaf water is even the worst part of bitter leaf? The water and the root. Because the water, you have already squeezed out the dirty part of bitter leaf. Now they give your fish to drink. It's just very funny. The one you are squeezing out is the dirty, is the everything that you squeeze out to give them to drink. Why is the bitter leaf water very bitter? But if no other plants, if you bring out their water, they are not as bitter as bitter leaf water. Bitter leaf water is very bitter. So imagine if you are the person drinking that water, how do you feel? Salt, not bitter leaf. If you are sprinkling salt on your fishes, it's okay. But my advice is don't allow large content of salt to be on the skin of your fishes. It burns it. It will burn their skin. Because what happens is that, like I said, salt is a two-edged sword. So when you pour too much concentration of salt on the skin, we burn the skin. You understand? And if it's not too much, it's what will kill the fish. So, but if it's a small quantity that you put, it's fine. It's okay. It's not bad. Yeah, it's okay. If it's small quantity, it's fine. It serves as a disinfectant on the fish. So if it's small quantity, it's okay. But when it's too much, it's not good. Please, what's the average grams to expect in 2 months to know if you're on course? Like I said, if you raise your fishes very well, at 3 months, your fishes will be on 800 grams. 3 months, they'll be on 800 grams. So at 2 months, you should be on 400 grams, 300, 400 grams at 2 months. Some may still be on 200 grams. But if you continue doing well, by 2.5 months, you will see those ones, they will pick up very well. That's why I said at 3 months, if you all those ones will still get 200 grams, they don't have future. There is no future for them. Just leave them. They are not going anywhere. So that's it. But remember, if you want to know, achieve, a lot from your fishes, space, feed, very, very key. Thank you very, very much. I will, like I said, for me personally, I'm doing this because not because of anything, but because of what I passed through when I started. Now, shege we see when we start. Now, there's no this one's not there now. So people that were in the business when we started, we never tell you anything because most of them lost money. So they want you to lose money again. But I feel that there's no need for that. Okay, this one I've answered this question that asked me why catfishes die at every day. There are too many reasons for that. I've answered that. Buyers that do magic, I've answered that. The bitter leaf, I've answered that. Prepared feed, I've answered that. Oh, farming. Farming. Okay. This one is asking me if catfish farming um is a good business. So now let me tell you guys something. You see, catfish farming is a very nice business. If you don't have anything doing and catfish farming is the only thing you are doing, if you do it well, I'm telling you, you grow from the business. I'm not a show person. That's why most of the times I don't. If not that I don't decided to be doing this one, you won't see me coming to display anything. That's me. So the business for me, I have grown in the business to a very large level, on this business. Come, Chris, I have answered this your last question now. I've answered it. Go the video after when I'm done with the video. You go back, you go and watch it. I've answered your RAS system now, so you're bringing it up again. I've been a mistake. So it's asking me, the viability of the business, catfish farming business. The business is very viable, but there are challenges in the business, and the challenges in this business is most of them are caused by we farmers. That's the truth, and I tell you why. Most farmers that want to start catfish business always plan ahead of the business. You always start dreaming of things that you want to do, how you want to be rich and all these things, and that's a problem. Why is it a problem? Most people don't look at catfish farming as a business that requires capital, but catfish farming requires huge capital. So if you don't have huge capital, it's okay. You start small, then grow. But what affects most catfish farmers is that they just want to jump like this. You don't have money. You want to start catfish farming with 1,000 fishes, 500 fishes. What are you doing? When you crash, you will not have that motivation to grow. Now, if you ask me, catfish and poultry, which one do you start with? As somebody that just want to start, there are two ways to weigh this thing. Firstly, it depends on the season. If you just want to start and you have a cage at the back of your house and you have like 2 or 3 months to Christmas, you do poultry, sell it that Christmas, then now start full catfish. So before you will now get to seasonal sales of this one again, your catfish would have grown bigger. Why? Just like I said when we started, when people are asking about the this thing, when they're asking me about catfishes to start with and all these things. So the first thing is, if you understand what I said now about starting this and this. So now and after that, if you understand what people in your place want, so they don't have a choice, they buy anything, hybrid, clarias, like I said, go for clarias. Why? So that 4 months, 4.5 months, you are selling your 1 kg fish and above. Once you make money from it, do a reinvestment. When you do the reinvestment, by the time you are selling that one, you are selling another festive period poultry business. You're on the game. 1 year, I just gave you an example of 1 year. At the end of that 1 year, you see where you are to start a new year. Said the salt can change their skin color. Yes, salt can change skin color if it's too much on the skin. It roasts it, it burns it, so it can. So the business is a very nice business, but it's how you start that is the problem. If you start catfish business in a wrong way with your calculation very poor and all these things, your imagination is wider than your calculation, you will fail miserably. That's why I always say it. I know when I started doing online catfish, this thing, many channels came out that time. You see, most of them they are no longer there. Because they are not farmers. They just believe it, let us get into it. It's work like that. This is what I do every time. Catfish gives you opportunity as a farmer to do other things. But poultry doesn't. Because poultry always around. Like that's what most of my problem. But now I now have good hands that handle it. So sometimes I just watch it on phone and see what they are doing. But with catfish farming, it gives you opportunity to go out, do other things. You are not tied down to a place. But if you are just facing only poultry farming, and you want to move very good forward there, it will keep you in one place because morning, afternoon, night, you need to know what's going on in your poultry farm. But catfish, you don't need it. Catfish, if you feed your fish in the morning, waka comot. Na evening time you come back, you go feed. You don't need to be there. What are you doing there with them? Just have the money to do what is necessary, and that's it. So these things are two basic differences. But again, it's a very good business. But you can't be lazy and be making money in catfish. It will not work. You need to go out. You need to find customers. If you don't have more than one customer buying your fish, wake up. What that one person is offering you may just be a joke. You need to stand up, look for more customers to have variety. The day you want to sell fish and you look at your fish pond and people that want to buy the fish, they are more than the fish, that is the day you know you have started doing business. You know why? When you have too many people disturbing you once that they want to buy catfish, and you know that what you have in your pond cannot satisfy them, one, you should know that people now appreciate the fish you are breeding. Two, you should know you have an upper hand in price control. Three, you should know that that time you are now fully in charge of your business. But if every time you are just looking for one buyer, two buyers, you are just trying to survive. You've not started very well. Because most of the things you want to do depends on the hands of those people. The worst part is anytime you want to sell, you are calling one agent. Agent, sir, please, when are you bringing customer? That one, you need to work harder than that because that agent determines your future and it go hard for you to make money more than the person determining your future. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm saying, you will understand that if you are investing 3 million naira in catfish farming, your agent is ready to make over 500,000 naira profit. That means for you to be growing up will be determined by that person. That's a very bad business. So if you want to be a successful man in any business you are doing, nobody is supposed to determine what you make in that business. Once you have one man that is determining what you are making in that business, it's not a good business because you cannot grow. One day the man may tell you that he's sick because he doesn't want you to make money. And what are you going to do? What happened to catfishes if their heads are white? It depends on why their head are white. Sometimes it could be that you overstock your fish. Sometimes it could be the color of a pond that they are taking. So there are a lot of reasons. What we do is you can do a video if you have your own and send to me 081 353 48909. I will look at it and know exactly where the problem fell in and know what to do. Please, how do I measure oxygen level in the plastic pond and pH level? What are the signs? Once your fishes start gasping for air, that means they have low oxygen. If you want to measure your pH, you have to go to where they sell chemical and tell them you want to buy pH kit. Or go online, Jumia, just type pH kit. You order from there. So you measure your pH level. 6.5 is the best for catfish farming. I say I'm enjoying the marketing aspect. Of course, marketing is this. That's marketing is the heartbeat of catfish farming. So that's just the truth. I have a 3,000 liter pond. How many fishes do I stock? Do a video and send to me. All 3,000 liters pond are not the same, so I need to see the size of the pond. It can be some can be tall, some can be wide on the floor and not tall. So I need to see it. Then I will tell you 081 353 48909. That's my number. So the truth is, if you make any mistake during sales, ah, it's a very bad one. Oh. I visited the bars, hotel, and talked to those that grill at parties before harvest time. No, you know, I have about 2, 3 videos on this on my YouTube channel where I talked specifically on selling. The truth about it is that most people, majority of the catfish farmers that have problem during sales, if they open their mouth and want to tell you the truth, they have never gone out to look for buyer. They are either on the phone trying to chat, ask somebody, do you know anybody? These things are nothing. First rule in catfish farming, if you want to make it is that use your leg, go waka. Even if you get the biggest car, your leg go waka. If you want people to be busy to come around and buy fishes from you. You have to meet them. If you have money and establish a company like business, you need a marketing manager that will have to work. The person will have first point of contact. I always say free of charge. Where you are living, identify where they sell catfish. Now, every place, I can name places. Okay, for instance, if you come to Ondo State, if you come to Akure, there's a place they call Custom. If you go there, you see women that always have this big bowl they use in selling catfish. If you get to Ondo town, there's a place they call go to Rainbow Junction. You see people that sell catfish there, or you go inside or by this or the Oja market there. You will see women that carry catfish. If you get to Asaba, get to Cable Point in Asaba, you see women that carry this bath. If you get to Onitsha, get to Ose, you see people that carry bath, they sell catfish. I start mentioning places like that. If you go to Ibadan, the same thing in Ibadan, the same thing. Now, what am I saying? Anywhere you are, if let's say you are staying in a village that doesn't have big market like that, but you want to do this catfish, you are even a king, but you don't know. So what you do is, because in your village, there's nobody, like somebody reached out to me. I said, he said it doesn't have. I said, good, you're a king. So in your village, there's no point that sells catfish. What you do is go to the drinking bars. Find out, are they eating catfish? If the answer is yes, talk to the owner of those bars that you are raising catfish. Would they buy from you? E no hard to talk. This is a simple question, word of mouth, asking. I'm selling this. Are you going to buy? So even bank big executives go to customers to say, look, we have this in our bank transaction. But ordinary catfish farmers, I don't know, they feel big. They don't want to go and ask. How do you want to make it? So you have to go and meet them. Tell them, I have this. Will you buy? This one will say yes. This one will say, oh no, I have somebody that brings it from a place in far. You are not going far. My own is in this village. Marketing starts. So I give you a good discount. Marketing starts. You meet many people, collect their numbers with them. Now you have gathered your area. They are ready to buy, but you are not too sure of them. You still enter motor, drive, go to 30 minutes away from there, the bigger city close to you. Sure, you will see people that are selling it in the market there. And those ones are the middlemen that go to buy from far and then supply to your village. Go and talk to them. When you discuss with all these people, you now have a base point. You can bring a book right in front, fish. Start writing down names and phone number, describing where you met them so that you don't make mistake. Hotels, bars, any joint that sells catfish. Those men that used to resell to people, identify them. When you now want to sell, you now start calling them. If you want to sell 2 weeks time, you start now to call them. I get catfish, and my catfish is now 1 kg and above. I know they sell small fish. The one I want to sell small fish say, okay, fish is small, but you know many. But now, so it depends on what people want. Because you ask them and you know exactly what they want. If there are places that they don't want to buy that big fish, but now 1 kg, say, I get now, not 1 kg they buy. You don't tell me now. I get. You now start negotiating. So when they come, you have an opportunity of making more money and more sales. But if you are sitting down, it's just because one motivational speaker don't tell you, say, people are always buying it. You now put fish. When it's time for sale, you now start running up and down. Now start calling. Who wants to buy? Now, what happens here? Like I said, people that buy fish, the utmost goal is buy cheaper, sell at any amount. So if they are buying 3,000 per kilo, And then you are now shaking and calling. You now call this. I beg, I don't want to buy fish now. The one I bought since I've not sold. The person will later call you back. That fish wey you talk sef, you still get. Now you are too happy now. Yes, 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 I get. Okay, I will try and get to your place maybe tomorrow. Oh, will you be around? Yes, I will be around. Anytime you want tomorrow, just call me. The person in his mind, he knows that you're already in trouble because you never did what you're supposed to do. And then you are now looking for who to blame. The person will now come and say, what do you even have? Person that said he has not sold, he's coming, he came with his robbers to buy you. What do you have? You now open your pond. This is another problem. The fishes you raise, probably you didn't feed them very well. Person says he's buying 1 kg and above, and you look at the pond, the fishes are not big. You'll be wondering, how do the person know the size of the fish? What you are doing every day, it gets to a time. If you look at a fish, you can tell the weight of that fish. Yes, it get it gets to a time if somebody show you fish, you look at it, you tell that person that this is the weight of this fish, and they put it on scale, it will be the same because you are doing it steady. And these people, they touch fish every time, so they weigh it with their hand. So the eyes already knows what the hand is going to carry. So when they look at your pond, they see that this one no get anything, and you are hooked. Then they will start the pricing. What is buying 3,000 in another place? He start telling you, like I told you, I don't even need this fish. It's just because of the way you said it. That is even why I'm here. Then you, on your own part, you now think that out of everybody you called, this one responded, meaning that this one likes you. You didn't know that the person that will finish you, I just call. Instead of 3,000, we tell you 2,500. That is if he's a nice person. Some people will tell you 2,000. You now start begging. Hey, do you know how much I have spent in this business? Mistake number one. Don't complain to your customer. This is a very bad rookie business mistake. You are telling your customer, do you know how much I have spent? These fishes did not do well. This is not what we planned. This is not what they told me. You are killing yourself. This customer is listening. When you talk finish, he will not give you the knocking number. He will condemn, he will help you to condemn your whole fish. And in terms of payment, you will not pay 100% because of what you did yourself. You start running up and down. This is why they make me laugh. You start running up and down, you will do all those things, nothing. Because one, you have made all the errors you are not supposed to make. You demarketed yourself by using your mouth to rubbish your business, thinking that you are trying to gain sympathy. A buyer has no sympathy on you, the seller. It's a lie. Two, you never did what you are supposed to do. So you did not look for for buyers. You now want to do everything yourself because you are sleeping. Or you mistakenly fall into the hand of an agent that will sell half of your fish on credit. Collect the money, use the money, go to another pond and pay cash, buy, supply to those people, make money on your money and pay you in piecemeal. In the next 2-3 weeks, they will pay you the money small, 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 small. While he's already using the money to do his own business. I'm not saying anything that anybody's bad, but this is what has happened and I've seen it. So it depends on you, however you want it. So I said, I have 3,000. Okay, so it depends on you, however you want your business to go on. It's not about wishes, because most of us would like to wish, we like to say a lot of prayers, but the action you are supposed to take to make sure you make your money, you won't do it. Then at the end of the day, you start blaming people. Yes, experience is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. And most unfortunately, is when people lose money because of this kind of attitude. They will start blaming everybody. But like I always say, if you lose money, you can't get it back. You don't go, you don't go. I can tell you many farms that have closed down today because of this type of behavior. Pay. Not be all payments you go see now. They will only bring the payment that they want to give you. They will not. Hey, from Warri, Cordelia. Ah, madam. Yeah, good evening. Then you can't get all the payments. No, you cannot. That's how they do these agents. Is the whole package of the whole thing. If you look at it now, from what I have explained now, you see that who caused it? The farmer. Because he was giving all manner of excuses. Nothing I have not seen in this thing. No. I have seen farmers. Somebody is asking me, he has 200,000. He wants to start catfish. I'm telling you that, look, if it was me and I have a pond and I have 200,000, I will do only 100 catfishes. When I make money from it, I will scale. He said, no, that somebody told him that if he do 500 self is small, if he do 800, like 200,000. How many parts of it is that? So when you talk, they just don't understand it. But the truth is that catfish farming is a business. It's not people just flocking. Look, any business that somebody passing by can do and do it well, it's not a good business. Yeah, that's the truth. Any business that somebody passing by can just stretch out his hand and do, and the business works, it's not a good business. But any business that many people fail and many people succeed is a good business. That's the truth. If we are 1,000 that start catfish and 800 fail and 200 pass, it's a very good business. Yes. So because what happens is that this 800 have given room for the 200 to keep going forward. You all can, once all of you go forward, there will be saturation. It's the truth. So catfish has its own challenges, like every other business. There's no business that doesn't have a challenge. There's no business. Mention one. No business. All businesses have challenge. It's just that some people will never tell you the challenge they are facing because some people believe that if telling you about a challenge has no value. What will you contribute? Instead, you start talking. So, what's the point telling you about the problem? There's no point. It's only when you are useful to somebody that will start telling you about a challenge. That's just the truth. No business without a challenge. All There was a time about 10 years ago in Ondo Town, Ondo State, nearly all the filling stations closed down. Filling stations that we are operating were not more than 5 or 6 then. But we all know that there is money in fuel business, and most of them made mad money when there used to be scarcity during Obasanjo time. So what happened? What of stocking 200 fishes in a pond of 100 capacity and selling after 3 months? You bring down the number to 100. Bad idea. That's how many people got their hands burnt. This capacity is for 200 fishes, but you want to stock for 100 fishes, but you want to stock 200 inside, and after 3 months you will reduce it. It's a bad business now. If this capacity is for 100 and you want to stock 200, and you are saying, oh, I have a standby pond here, so after 1 month I divide it, it's good. But you want to take it to 3 months. Very bad business. The fishes will not have space to grow. What's the point? The point is already defeated. Even the 1 month is bad. The best is that juvenile side. Just maximum 2 weeks you're out of it. That one you are very, very safe. But when you start going higher and higher, no, it's a bad one. And let me tell you, if the number is much, like let's say a pond that will take 1,000 and you put 2,000, it's very bad from the beginning. Don't even dream of it. Reason is that the number of fishes in that pond are so much that they keep bumping into each other, eating each other, and messing up the place. But if it's like a limited number, like you're supposed to use 100 and you have 200, maximum 2 weeks, remove the other 100. Allow the 100 to grow well. If not, they're not going to grow well. Everything will be going negative. Yes, I think we have tried for today. So let us see what's going to happen. Probably if I can be able to, if we can meet again by next week or next month. Do we have any other last questions before we call it a day today? I don't gauge. Yeah, I spent about yeah, I spent 2 hours, 5 minutes already. I'm more no easier. Do we have any other last questions before we call it a day today? And then hopefully, maybe next week or next month we'll do another one. But I will still say it before the time. Any last questions? If start my pond construction, we'll be in touch regularly. No problem. If you start your pond construction, my number is 081-353-48909. So be in touch. I will always, help out where I can. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you for having the patience, the time to stay here till this time. Thank you so much. Good. Uh, Thank you very, very much. Thanks a lot. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks so much. So let's call it a day, man. You guys are wonderful. You are super wonderful. Thank you so much.